hiding place for Tinubu. He will be exposed, Articles 80 says. Hey, this is a serious one. No? I'm sure it's about the certificate case that Atiku has filed against Tinubu in the U.S. Federal High Court in Illinois. Okay. Now the Tinubu's AD has come out to say, Atiku's AD has come out to say Tinubu has no hiding place. He must be exposed. Yeah, I think the earlier we start bringing out the key issues with our leaders for correction, the better for everyone. And this is Frank Shaibu speaking on behalf of Atiku Abubakar. Frank Shaibu, the Special Assistant on Public Communications to the 2023 People's Democratic Party (PDP) presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, has said there is no hiding place for President Bola Tinubu over a certificate scandal. Shaibu disclosed that Atiku is determined to expose Tinubu for not having a certificate. He noted that Tinubu's academic records from primary school to university remained questionable. In a statement, he said Tinubu's failure to identify a single former classmate, hence his educational qualification, is questionable. Wow. So the fact remains here that Tinubu's qualification from primary school to secondary school to university remains questionable. Okay, he could not identify even a single classmate. That is how bad it is. How can you say you went to school? You don't have classmates for primary school. You don't have classmates in secondary school. You don't have classmates in university. Nobody can come out and say, yes, I was in the same class with him. Nobody. Okay? Both Peter Obi and so many other politicians have seen how have seen their classmates. Okay? And even in the ministerial list that Tinubu submitted to Senate for screening, some of them also saw their classmates while the screening process was going on. Some of them, the nominees, were classmates with some senators that were screening them. And that was very laudable, that was very credible, that was very great. Okay, but how can somebody be that he never had classmate in primary school, no classmate in secondary school, no classmate in university? Now they are writing, they instituted a court case in the US to investigate his university qualification from the Chicago State University. But now Tinubu is blocking the school from releasing his result or his academic document. So if you know that you graduated from that school, why would you write to block it? Okay, because again, it's been seen that the Bola Tinubu that graduated from the Chicago State University was a female and not a male. Okay, and so Tinubu obviously, by the time they dig into that record, they find out that Tinubu is bearing, it's not even his name, because that is how bad it is. That even his own name is questionable. Academic qualification questionable. Source of wealth questionable. Origin questionable. His hometown questionable. His source of wealth questionable. How? How can somebody just live a life that is questionable from A to Z? It's quite unfortunate. So because again, Atiku has filed this case in a federal high court in the US to prove his academic qualification in the university in the US, now Tinubu is blocking it. Okay, but even though there's a law, a federal law that protects students from, or that protects students against schools releasing their personal records anyhow, this is a judicial case. It is a legal case, and so the demand is going to come from the court. And if it is coming from the court, that law will be overridden. Okay, the school will not have option but to release the information. Immediately the court issues the subpoena and the subpoena is served to the school will have no option but to release the academic for court case, because it's a case that's under investigation. It's abnormal. So that letter or whatever Tinubu has written to stop the school from releasing its document will not hold, because this is a case that is under investigation, and these are one of the exceptions to such laws or rules or policies. So it is not going to be case as usual, and that is why Frank Shaibu is coming out here to tell the world that Tinubu has no hiding place. As far as this certificate scandal is concerned, Tinubu must be exposed, because it had direct implication in his presidency as a Nigerian, or in his being president of Nigeria. Okay, at the time he was filling the INEC application form, he declared all of his academic records. Now, provide them for proof, he cannot provide them. The one they have seen is fake. So how, first of all, did INEC approve him without doing background check, without going through his records and confirming that he's actually the owner of those records? I think INEC need to improve in that regards and in that area. Okay, as if that is not enough, now he rigged his way into presidency, rigged the election result, rigged everything, and is now the president. Now his presidency is being challenged from left, right, and center, because everything about him has proven to be shady, has proven not to be very, very correct all around. And how can somebody live that kind of life, that everything about him is shady? Okay, why can't him, for once put his record straight? It's quite unfortunate. Okay, it's quite unfortunate for Tinubu. Now PDP has taken him up that he cannot be hidden. There's no hiding place for him. He must be exposed thoroughly. Okay, the thing is actually very, very terrible for Nigeria, that we just got out of Buhari's government, where Buhari could not even show a very serious academic record, apart from military training record, that is academic qualification. Tinubu's own has even gone worse than Buhari's own, that everything about him is forged, everything about him is not correct. He's always fighting for survival to sustain his record. How can an old man be like that? And how can Nigeria as a nation full of intellectuals, full of academicians, full of professors and doctors, is having somebody who has no legitimate certificate as their president? Before the external world, before international community, it is a shame on Nigeria. Very big shame on Nigeria, the biggest shame ever. Okay, the biggest shame ever. We cannot continue like this now. No, it is not allowed. We cannot continue like this. So Tinubu must show that he finished from any school, and he must show beyond reasonable doubt that he owns those certificates. He must at least provide one schoolmate, provide one classmate. That would be very great. So it means that everything about him from birth to date is all forged, and that same person is becoming Nigerian president. Not acceptable. Not acceptable. So thank you for listening. That is what is coming from Frank Shaibu, speaking on behalf of Atiku Abubakar, that Tinubu, as far as his certificate scandal is concerned, he has no hiding place, and he must surely be exposed. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.